Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. On the ground, the splintered Fournette, and he powers his way up past the 30. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Green 80! Green 80!
Now Bortles on the bootleg. And right away, he lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do. Oftentimes you say some guys have a knack for creating turnovers. He forced a fumble last week, forces another one.
And one of my good coaching buddies, Frank Delano, always told me, hey, Davis, creating turnovers is not as much about skill as it is about desire.
Oh, I thought it was going to be will, because will rhyme with skill.
Come on, man.
With desire. We'll go with desire.
What are you, the rhyme master now?
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
To throw on second is Watson. It goes as a loss of 6. And now third down. Third and long, it's Watson. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Kiki QT, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans have taken the early lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You'd better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
11B, 11B.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. Looking deep downfield. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. Flushed out right. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Come back!
From the gun, here's Watson. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant to the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Bortles. His throw incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Set. Green 80. Green is set.
To throw is Bortles. He's going to sling this deep downfield. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, picked off here by Aaron Colvin. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You got to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
23 yards on the play. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And that'll be incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. And they'll hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A great job to hold him to just a yard there. Now it's 4th and goal.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And his kick here is good. And that will make it 10-0 here in the first. They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down. On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. He's going to look deep down the field. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Covers that time by Aaron Colvin. Offensively, might be thinking, what's going on here? 1 for their first 7 throwing the football.
So maybe they're thinking about rethinking their strategy a little bit right now with the way that they're throwing it around, not having that success. Might have to lean on the running game for a little while and see if they can get him back in form.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Let's go. Here we go. Four down.
Shotgun now for Bortles. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down.
Here we go. 39, Lucy.
From the gun, it's Bortles. And he's going to be taken down. Back around the 35-yard line. Whitney merciless in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Throwing now is Bortles. And the pressure gets to him again.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Throwing is Bortles. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete. There's no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
On 1st down, it's Watson. Flush to his right. And he'll find QT on the right side complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another 1st.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
Some good strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Here's Watson on the sneak, and he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's into the clear. He's at the 40. The 20. 10. 5. Touchdown, Jaguars. In for the score. And the Jaguars make some inroads here on that deficit. Such an electric play, so much fun to watch, and you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork, to be able to put it all together. But that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute.
Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Calais Campbell in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. And the pitch goes to Miller. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Come back, come back. Back 22. Back 22. Tiger, tiger, tiger. Tiger, tiger, tiger.
Now Watson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Completes it to Lee. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now Bortles. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive, not much sense. Bortles to throw once more. Being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front seven can get him down.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Watson buying time to, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Calais Campbell in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
To go here in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Hopkins. And he's able to get up here to the 26. A big pickup, 18 yards, but they still stop him well short of the marker. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 18. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And taking a gander at the NFL scoreboard in Minneapolis. And the Eagles out in front early. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And now they face a 2nd and 6 after the penalty. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Jaguar linemen might have moved. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Bortles going to throw. He sets to fire deep. That's caught inside the 20. A big 3rd down play there for the Jags. And even 60 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Caught, Safarian Jenkins, right side. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. And now the Texans want to call another timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And Lambeau will put this one through. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Watson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. He's got a first down past the 30. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
On first down, Watson. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Barry Church. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, hold it.
A final shot before half for Bortles. Trying to lay one up deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Lambeau to add on the extra point. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Watson hands to Miller on the draw. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Green the line! Green the line! Richmond!
To throw is Watson. Flushed out right. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taken in at the 11. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Bortles now 8 of 17 so far, under 50%. Bortles on the give to Fournette. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Bortles going to run the draw with Fournette. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Fournette, a 1st down carry. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Let's go, let's go.
On second down, here's Fournette. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw, and he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. On is Josh Lambo now for the Jaguar field goal. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And Lambo will put this one through, and that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick. For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And now out comes Houston. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And got his man complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. They give him a gain of 38.
If post pattern is often equated as a change-up route, how about when you throw it to your big guy down the center of the field? Covered or not, you have great confidence he's going to come down with the football. And when he does, as we just saw, long gains often result.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. On second down, here's Miller. And some space here. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They keep it with Miller on first down. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another first down as well. A first down carry now for Miller. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Richmond.
They'll try the air now with Watson. This is caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Texans are an extra point away from taking the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that will put them on top here in the third. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now out come the Jags. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Forced out to his left. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
After the encroachment penalty, here's 2nd and 5.
Lucy. Red left.
Here's Bortles to throw. And some room to roam now. Room to run past midfield. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
On first down, Bortles. Now they go screen. It's complete. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Here we go. Four down. Check. Four down.
To throw, it's Bortles. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumble. It's loose. But it looked like a Jaguar was able to cover this thing, and so Jacksonville will keep control.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now Bortles. And he's going to go down again. J.J. Watt in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. And now out comes Houston. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Barry Church. And he'll actually lose 6 yards on the return, but I don't think they care. They've got the football back.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game, and so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
This will be caught inside the 10. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. 3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that'll make this a 6-point game. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And now out comes Houston. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, A lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he will be taken down, and a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the third quarter. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll run it again with Miller. And he's got some space here. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Richmond.
Watson on first down. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
Come back.
Watson off play action. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That's going to be caught. And that one results in 35 yards. Well, last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. And one of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you can darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
Officially no gain on the sneak. Kind of a wasted play there, and now it's third down.
I know they didn't get it, but I kind of like the call. 2nd and inches, go right to the quarterback sneak. Normally, that should be executed better, shouldn't it?
I'm going to disagree with you. I don't like the call. If you
don't like that?
That's just because they didn't get it, though.
Oh, okay.
Hindsight's 20/20.
20/20 and never defeated.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Lamar Miller, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans can take the lead with an extra point. A very important extra point there, up and good. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Bortles now on first down. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
11. Omaha.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. Incomplete over the middle, Safarian Jenkins. And he's brought down after a good gain. And that one results in 35 yards. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Lucy.
Throwing on first down is Bortles. Going up top. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Lucy. Right, 72.
Shotgun now for Bortles. It fights him off. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 10.
372.
Again, they'll throw with Bortles. And incomplete. Almost intercepted. The D lineman almost had it. Couldn't hang on.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Maybe a free play for Watson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have them set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. The ball gets bumped up. It's now 2nd and 4 after the penalty. Watson now to throw. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
Target. Red. Flag 22. Flag 22. Target.
From the gun, here's Watson. Open man is QT, complete. A very solid gain of 27. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Watson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
After the penalty, it's Miller. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. And just as you called it after the earlier sack, they set up the screen. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down. Well, they took your advice from a bit earlier, tried the screen, but that one, it was covered up pretty well.
They did a nice job on it, but I still think it was the right idea. Probably just a block or two away from making it work.
So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
Down! Blue 80! Blue 80! Tiger!
And they, in fact, will throw it. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time,
they practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Back to throw. Left side complete. Safarian Jenkins. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout called as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. The Jaguars on 3rd down. A very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. J.J. Watt in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. He'll look to throw. That's to his running back, complete. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
Now they're just trying to do anything possible to try and get the ball downfield and get into field goal range.
And with that clock dwindling, they felt the need to take a pretty big shot there. Unfortunately, couldn't complete it. The Jaguars on 3rd down. Not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. Bortles to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Now Bortles. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Lucy.
One final try now for Bortles. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Texans, they'll finish the first half of the schedule dead even at 4-4. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they'll fall to 5-3 with a loss. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis Colts. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.